Hey there. Tonight we're talking about two brothers who transformed a $50 clearance item into a $4.8 million Amazon empire that generates $685,000 in annual profit. Before you drift off, take a moment to like this video and subscribe. But only if this kind of transformative deep sleep hypnosis speaks to you. And let me know in the comments where you're tuning in from and how many days in a row you've been on this manifestation journey. I love seeing how committed this community is becoming. Now dim the lights, get comfortable, and let your mind absorb abundance. You find yourself sitting on the iconic stone steps of the University of Georgia's North Campus Quad, where the warm Georgia evening air carries the sound of students walking to late study sessions and the distant hum of Athens nightlife. The historic buildings around you glow softly in the fading light, their red brick facades telling stories of thousands of dreams pursued and achieved within these hallowed halls. You're not alone here. Beside you sits Brady, a young man whose presence radiates the quiet confidence that comes from someone who has discovered how to transform simple ideas into extraordinary wealth. His phone screen illuminates his face as he scrolls through Amazon seller metrics that would make most people do a double take. $400,000 in monthly sales, inventory valued at over $1 million, profit margins that support a lifestyle most people only dream about. 7 years ago, I was sitting on these exact same steps, stressed about how I was going to pay for textbooks next semester, he says, sliding his phone into his pocket and looking out across the quad where students hurry past with backpacks full of hopes and worries. I had no idea that a random YouTube video I was about to watch would change absolutely everything about my financial future. As you settle beside him on the warm stone steps, you can feel the weight of possibility in the evening air. This place holds the energy of transformation, where young minds discover their potential and launch themselves toward futures they previously thought impossible. Tonight, you'll experience Brady's complete journey from a broke economics student scanning clearance racks with his last $50 to the co-founder of an Amazon empire that generates $4.8 million in annual sales while delivering $685,000 in pure profit that he splits with his younger brother Scotty. You'll witness the exact moment he realized that retail arbitrage wasn't just a side hustle. It was a gateway to understanding consumer behavior, market dynamics, and the systems that create sustainable wealth. You'll discover how he convinced his younger brother Scotty to become his business partner, transforming family relationships while building something extraordinary together. But more importantly, you'll absorb the strategic thinking, systematic approaches, and abundance mindset that allowed two young men from a small Georgia town to build a business that operates in multiple countries, employs 15 people, and generates passive income that compounds daily while they sleep. As the evening unfolds around the peaceful campus, your subconscious mind will begin to recognize the same entrepreneurial instincts that live within you. Brady's journey will become your permission to see opportunity where others see ordinary circumstances, to build systems that create wealth while you sleep, and to transform any starting point into unlimited abundance. So breathe deeply, let your shoulders sink into complete relaxation, and prepare to witness a story of systematic wealth building that will plant seeds of infinite possibility in your sleeping mind. Tonight, you'll discover how two brothers turned their understanding of simple market principles into financial freedom that supports any lifestyle they choose to create. The late afternoon sun filters through the tall windows of the University of Georgia Economics building as you walk beside Brady through the familiar hallways that once represented his entire world. Your footsteps echo softly against the polished floors, while the sound of professors lecturing and students discussing complex theories drifts from various classrooms. This was my reality back then, Brady says, stopping outside a lecture hall where students are still engaged in an animated discussion about market efficiency. I was completely absorbed in theoretical economics, supply and demand curves, market equilibrium, consumer behavior models, but I had no idea how to apply any of it to actually create wealth. You can feel your breathing naturally slowing as you both continue walking through these academic corridors, the familiar institutional atmosphere creating perfect conditions for your subconscious mind to absorb the abundance programming embedded in his transformation story. My biggest financial concern was scraping together enough money for the basics: textbooks, gas for my beat-up Honda Civic, the occasional meal that wasn't ramen noodles or whatever my mom packed for me. I was living at home to save money, sharing a bedroom with Scotty, who was still in high school and thought my college stress was hilarious. The evening light streaming through the windows creates a warm, nostalgic atmosphere that supports your body's natural drift toward relaxation, while your mind remains perfectly engaged with the abundance principles beginning to unfold through his story. I remember sitting in this exact hallway during finals week my junior year, calculating whether I could afford the required textbook for advanced microeconomics, or if I'd have to hope the library copy would be available when I needed it. That's when I realized that understanding economic theory meant nothing if I couldn't figure out how to generate actual income. You watch as Brady pulls out his current phone, the latest model, clearly expensive, and shows you a photo from that time period. A younger version of himself, hunched over textbooks in what appears to be a cramped bedroom, stress evident in his posture and expression. That photo was taken the night before I discovered retail arbitrage. I was supposed to be studying for my money and banking final, but instead, I was scrolling through YouTube, procrastinating and feeling sorry for myself about my financial situation. Your eyelids are becoming pleasantly heavy as his voice carries you deeper into the state where transformation naturally occurs, the abundance programming beginning to reorganize your subconscious understanding of how opportunity appears in the most ordinary circumstances. The video that changed everything was titled, "How I Made $500 This Week Buying and Selling from Walmart." I almost scrolled past it. It sounded too good to be true, like every other get-rich-quick scheme that floods social media. But something about the guy's genuine, down-to-earth presentation made me keep watching. The academic environment around you both seems to fade slightly as Brady's story transports you into the mindset of possibility and discovery that would soon transform his entire understanding of wealth creation. He explained retail arbitrage so simply that I felt stupid for not thinking of it myself. Buy products on clearance at one store, sell them for market price on Amazon. The difference between clearance price and market price becomes your profit. It was basic economics, price discrepancies in different markets, but applied in a way that could generate immediate income. You can feel your subconscious mind naturally organizing itself around themes of applied knowledge, practical opportunity recognition, and the transformation of theoretical understanding into profitable action. That night, I stayed up until 3 a.m., researching everything I could find about Amazon FBA, seller metrics, profit margins, and product sourcing. For the first time since starting college, I felt genuinely excited about something that could solve my immediate financial problems while building toward long-term wealth. The hallway has grown quieter as evening settles over the campus, creating perfect conditions for your mind to absorb the deeper lessons about how curiosity and willingness to learn create the foundation for extraordinary financial success. The next morning, I drove to the nearest Walmart with exactly $53 in my checking account, my entire discretionary budget for the month. I had a scanner app on my phone and a notebook where I was tracking clearance prices versus Amazon selling prices for anything that caught my attention. Your breathing continues to synchronize with the peaceful rhythm of his storytelling, each detail settling into deeper layers of your consciousness, where lasting transformation occurs naturally and effortlessly. I spent 3 hours in that Walmart, scanning everything from kitchen gadgets to electronics to toys. Most items showed no profit potential, but then I found a section of clearance camping gear that was marked down 70% from regular price. He shows you another photo on his phone, a screenshot of his first Amazon sale, showing a camping lantern that he bought for $12 and sold for $38, generating $19 in profit after Amazon's fees. That first sale took 8 days to complete, and I checked my seller dashboard obsessively every few hours. When I saw that $19 profit appear in my account, I felt like I had discovered a secret that nobody else understood. It wasn't just the money. It was the realization that I could create income through my own actions and knowledge. The evening continues to deepen around the peaceful campus setting, creating ideal conditions for the abundance programming embedded in his story to integrate with your own expanding understanding of wealth-building potential. Within 2 weeks, I had reinvested that first profit into more clearance items, and my second batch of sales generated $47 in profit. The growth wasn't linear. Some items didn't sell, others sold for less profit than expected, but the overall trend was unmistakably positive. You can feel how his story demonstrates the early stages of wealth creation, small actions compounding into larger results, knowledge gained through experience rather than theory, confidence building through consistent success rather than occasional luck. But the real breakthrough came when I realized I needed help to scale beyond what I could accomplish alone. That's when I approached Scotty about becoming my business partner, even though he was still in high school and had never thought about entrepreneurship as a realistic possibility. Your subconscious mind naturally begins to recognize themes of collaboration, shared vision, and the multiplication of results that occurs when individual effort combines with strategic partnership. The conversation that would change both our lives forever happened right here on campus, actually. Scotty had driven up to pick me up after my evening economics seminar, and I spent the entire ride home explaining how retail arbitrage worked and why I needed a partner who could help with sourcing and logistics. The academic buildings around you seem to represent the theoretical foundation that would soon be transformed into practical wealth-building systems, creating perfect symbolism for your mind's absorption of abundance principles. By the time we pulled into our parents' driveway that night, Scotty was as excited about the business potential as I was. He understood immediately that his flexibility and willingness to drive to multiple stores could multiply our sourcing capacity exponentially. As the first chapter of Brady's transformation story reaches its conclusion, you can feel your mind naturally organizing itself around the themes of opportunity recognition, practical application of knowledge, and the power of partnership in building sustainable wealth. The peaceful campus evening provides perfect conditions for these abundance principles to settle into the deeper layers of your consciousness, where they will continue working throughout your sleep to expand your own understanding of wealth-building potential and opportunity recognition. The scene transitions seamlessly from the University of Georgia campus to the family home where Brady and Scotty grew up, a modest 2-story house in a quiet neighborhood where the American dream feels both achievable and elusive. You find yourself in the cramped bedroom the brothers shared, where twin beds, mismatched furniture, and academic trophies create an atmosphere of youthful ambition mixed with economic reality. This room was our first headquarters, Brady says, gesturing toward a small desk wedged between the beds, where a laptop sits surrounded by notebooks filled with product research and profit calculations. Every successful Amazon empire has humble beginnings, and ours literally started with us sharing a workspace that was smaller than most people's closets. Your body naturally settles into deeper relaxation as the intimate family setting creates perfect conditions for your subconscious mind to absorb the abundance programming embedded in their transformation from teenagers with big dreams to young entrepreneurs generating substantial wealth. The morning after our conversation about becoming business partners, Scotty and I sat right here and created our first official business plan. We had no idea what we were doing. Just two kids with a notebook, a laptop, and absolute certainty that we could build something significant together. The evening light filtering through the bedroom window creates a warm, nostalgic atmosphere that supports your mind's natural drift toward the receptive state where lasting transformation occurs most easily. Our initial investment was $200, money I had saved from a part-time job at the campus bookstore, and birthday cash that Scotty had been keeping in a shoebox under his bed. We decided to split everything 50-50 from the beginning, even though I was technically the one who discovered the opportunity. You watch as Brady opens a worn notebook and shows you pages covered in handwritten calculations, product ideas, and profit projections that demonstrate the methodical approach they brought to building their empire from the very beginning. The first month was pure experimentation. Scotty would drive us to different Walmart locations, Target stores, and Home Depot outlets every weekend, and we'd spend hours scanning clearance sections, learning which products had consistent profit potential and which ones were too risky or unpredictable. Your breathing naturally synchronizes with the rhythm of his storytelling, creating ideal conditions for absorbing the strategic thinking and systematic approach that would soon transform their small experiments into sustainable wealth generation. We developed our own rating system for potential products, profit margin, sales velocity, competition level, storage requirements, shipping considerations. Every decision was based on data rather than guesswork, which is probably why we avoided most of the mistakes that kill new Amazon sellers. The bedroom around you represents the launching pad for dreams that seemed impossible, but became inevitable through consistent action and strategic thinking, creating perfect symbolism for your mind's absorption of abundance principles. Our breakthrough moment came during week 3, when we found a clearance section at Home Depot filled with kitchen gadgets that were being discontinued. The margins were incredible. Items we could buy for $8 were selling on Amazon for $25 to $30 consistently. He shows you photos from that period. The brothers loading boxes of kitchen products into Scotty's car, their excitement evident even in the grainy phone pictures taken in parking lots and store aisles. That single sourcing trip generated over $400 in profit when everything sold, which was more money than either of us had ever earned in a single week. But more importantly, it taught us about product categories, seasonal demand, and the importance of buying in larger quantities to maximize profit per sourcing trip. Your subconscious mind naturally organizes itself around themes of experimentation, data-driven decision-making, and the compound effect of reinvesting profits into larger and more profitable opportunities. By month 2, we had established relationships with managers at multiple stores who would call us when new clearance items arrived. We weren't just random customers anymore. We were small business owners who provided a service by purchasing products that might otherwise become dead inventory. The evening continues to deepen around the peaceful family home setting, creating perfect conditions for the abundance programming embedded in their story, to integrate with your own expanding understanding of opportunity recognition and systematic wealth building. But the real transformation happened when we decided to transition from retail arbitrage to private label products. I had been researching successful Amazon sellers and discovered that the biggest profits came from creating your own branded products rather than just reselling items from other retailers. You can feel how their story demonstrates the evolution from tactical thinking to strategic thinking, from short-term profits to long-term wealth building, from working in the business to working on the business. The decision to launch our first private label product was terrifying and exciting in equal measure. We were moving from a business model where we knew exactly what our profit would be on each item to one where we had to invest thousands of dollars before knowing whether anyone would actually buy what we created. Your eyelids are becoming pleasantly heavy as his voice carries you deeper into understanding how calculated risks and strategic investments create the foundation for exponential growth rather than linear progress. We spent 6 weeks researching kitchen utensil categories, analyzing competitor products, studying customer reviews to identify unmet needs and improvement opportunities. The economics training I was getting in college finally had practical application in understanding market demand and consumer behavior. The family home setting seems to expand around you as their vision grows, representing how individual dreams supported by family encouragement and partnership can transform into extraordinary realities that benefit everyone involved. Our first product was a set of silicone cooking utensils that we designed specifically to address the most common complaints in customer reviews of existing products: durability issues, heat resistance problems, and aesthetic concerns that were consistently mentioned by disappointed buyers. You watch as he shows you their first product design sketches, manufacturer communications, and the excitement evident in emails discussing minimum order quantities, shipping timelines, and profit projections for their private label launch. The initial investment was $5,000, more money than we had ever spent on anything in our young lives. We had to convince our parents to co-sign a small business loan, which meant explaining our vision with enough confidence and detail to earn their trust in our judgment. Your breathing continues to slow and deepen as their story carries you through the process of transforming small successes into larger opportunities, demonstrating how strategic thinking and calculated risks create exponential growth rather than incremental progress. The day our first shipment of private label products arrived at the Amazon fulfillment center, we both knew that we had crossed a threshold from experimenting with business to actually building a real company that could support our future financial goals and lifestyle dreams. The abundance programming embedded in their partnership and strategic approach begins to settle into the deeper layers of your consciousness, where it will continue working throughout your sleep to expand your own understanding of collaborative wealth building and systematic business development. As the second chapter reaches its conclusion, you can feel your mind naturally organizing itself around themes of strategic partnership, calculated risk-taking, and the transformation from consumer thinking to entrepreneur thinking that creates unlimited potential for financial abundance. The family garage has been transformed into a makeshift warehouse and shipping center with metal shelving units lining the walls and a folding table serving as the packing station. You find yourself standing with Brady and Scotty in this organized chaos, surrounded by boxes of their first private label kitchen utensils and the energy of young entrepreneurs who have just crossed the line from dreamers to serious business builders. This garage represents the moment we stopped playing at business and started building something that could actually support us financially, Brady says, running his hand along one of the shelving units filled with pristine white boxes bearing their newly designed logo. Everything changed the day our first private label shipment arrived. Your body naturally settles into complete relaxation as the entrepreneurial energy of this space creates perfect conditions for your subconscious mind to absorb the abundance programming embedded in their systematic approach to building sustainable wealth. The night before our first private label product went live on Amazon, neither of us could sleep. We had invested everything we had made from retail arbitrage, plus the small business loan, into this single product launch. Success or failure would determine whether we continued growing or went back to scanning clearance racks for pocket change. The evening light filtering through the garage windows creates long shadows that seem to represent the magnitude of the risk they were taking, while also suggesting the exponential growth potential that lay ahead. I remember refreshing our Amazon seller dashboard every 10 minutes that first day, watching for the first sale notification. When it came, one unit sold for $24.99 with a profit margin of $14. We both started laughing and couldn't stop. It wasn't just the money. It was proof that we could create something valuable that people actually wanted to buy. You watch as Brady shows you screenshots from that historic first week. Daily sales climbing from 1 unit to 3 units to 7 units, with each sale representing validation of their research, design decisions, and market analysis. By day 5, we were selling consistently enough to justify our investment. By day 10, we were selling multiple units daily and had already recouped our initial advertising costs. By day 20, we knew we had created something that could scale far beyond our garage operation. Your breathing naturally synchronizes with the rhythm of their success story, creating ideal conditions for absorbing the strategic thinking and systematic approach that transformed their initial risk into sustainable profit generation. But the real education came from managing our first inventory cycle. We had to track sales velocity, monitor competitor activities, manage advertising costs, handle customer service inquiries, and plan our next inventory order, all while Scotty was still finishing high school and I was completing my economics degree. The garage setting around you represents the entrepreneurial spirit that transforms ordinary spaces into launching pads for extraordinary success, creating perfect symbolism for your mind's absorption of abundance principles related to resourcefulness and strategic planning. The breakthrough moment came when we realized we needed to think like a real business rather than just 2 guys selling products online. We incorporated as an LLC, opened dedicated business bank accounts, implemented inventory management software, and started tracking key performance indicators that would guide our scaling decisions. Your subconscious mind naturally organizes itself around themes of professionalization, systematic growth, and the transition from informal side hustle to legitimate business enterprise that creates sustainable wealth. Month 3 was when everything clicked into place. Our first product was generating consistent profits. We had identified our second product opportunity based on customer feedback and market research, and we were ready to make the leap from garage operation to professional business setup. He shows you the business plan they developed during this transition period. Detailed financial projections, product development timelines, marketing strategies, and operational procedures that demonstrate their evolution from experimental entrepreneurs to strategic business builders. The decision to move out of the garage and into our first real office space was both exciting and terrifying. It meant committing to overhead costs, professional image, and growth targets that would require us to scale beyond anything we had previously achieved. Your eyelids are becoming pleasantly heavy as his voice carries you deeper into understanding how calculated expansion and professional development create the foundation for exponential growth rather than incremental progress. But before we could make that transition, we faced our first major business crisis. Amazon suspended our seller account for 3 days due to a customer complaint about product quality, and we watched our daily sales revenue disappear while we worked frantically to resolve the issue. The garage setting seems to contract slightly around you as Brady describes the stress and uncertainty of that first major setback, representing how challenges test the foundation of any growing business. Those 3 days taught us more about business resilience and customer service than any economics textbook ever could. We implemented quality control procedures, developed customer communication protocols, and built redundancy into our operations to prevent similar problems in the future. You can feel how their story demonstrates the transformation from reactive problem solving to proactive system building, from hoping for success to creating the conditions that make success inevitable through preparation and strategic thinking. When our seller account was reinstated, our sales didn't just return to previous levels, they increased by 40% within 2 weeks because our improved customer service and quality control had generated positive reviews that boosted our product rankings. Your breathing continues to slow and deepen as their story carries you through the process of transforming challenges into opportunities for stronger business foundations and more sustainable profit generation. That crisis became the catalyst for developing the operating procedures that would support our growth from a garage operation generating a few $1,000s monthly to a professional enterprise generating hundreds of thousands of dollars in annual revenue. The evening continues to deepen around the garage headquarters, creating perfect conditions for the abundance programming embedded in their systematic approach to business building to integrate with your own expanding understanding of wealth creation through strategic planning and continuous improvement. By the end of our first year of private label selling, we had launched 3 successful products, generated over $50,000 in net profit, and established the operational foundation that would support whatever level of growth we chose to pursue. As the 3rd chapter reaches its conclusion, you can feel your mind naturally organizing itself around themes of strategic risk-taking, systematic business development, and the transformation from small-scale experiments to scalable enterprises that create sustainable wealth. The garage setting has become a symbol of how ordinary spaces can become extraordinary launching pads when filled with vision, strategy, and the willingness to transform challenges into opportunities for growth and improvement. The scene transitions from the family garage to a modern office space in Athens, Georgia, where Brady and Scotty have established their first professional headquarters. You find yourself in a bright, organized environment with proper desks, multiple computer monitors, inventory management systems, and the unmistakable energy of a business that has evolved from startup experiment to legitimate enterprise. Moving into this office space represented our commitment to scaling beyond what we could achieve from home, Brady says, settling into an ergonomic chair behind a desk covered with product samples, supplier contracts, and financial reports that demonstrate the sophistication their operation has achieved. Your body naturally relaxes into the comfortable office environment as the professional atmosphere creates perfect conditions for your subconscious mind to absorb the abundance programming embedded in their strategic approach to business expansion and team building. By our 2nd year, we were managing 12 different products across multiple kitchen categories, generating consistent monthly revenues between $40,000 and $60,000, and facing operational challenges that required us to think like executives rather than just product sellers. The evening light filtering through large windows illuminates charts and graphs on the walls that track their growth trajectory, key performance indicators, and market analysis that guides their decision-making process with data rather than intuition alone. The first major test came when we decided to hire our first employee, someone who could handle customer service, inventory tracking, and basic administrative tasks that were consuming too much of our time for strategic work. You watch as Brady shows you their hiring process documentation, employee handbook, and training materials that demonstrate how seriously they approached building a team that could maintain their standards while allowing them to focus on growth and expansion. Sarah was a recent business administration graduate who understood e-commerce but had never worked for a small company where every decision impacts the bottom line immediately. Teaching her our systems while maintaining our growth momentum required us to develop leadership skills neither of us knew we possessed. Your breathing naturally synchronizes with the rhythm of his storytelling, creating ideal conditions for absorbing the management principles and team-building strategies that transform individual efforts into scalable business operations. But the real breakthrough came when we partnered with our first major supplier who could provide custom manufacturing rather than just private labeling existing products. This relationship allowed us to create truly unique kitchen utensils designed specifically based on our customer feedback and market research. The office environment around you represents the infrastructure necessary for serious business operations, creating perfect symbolism for your mind's absorption of abundance principles related to systems, processes, and strategic partnerships. The supplier relationship taught us about international business, quality control protocols, shipping logistics, and the importance of building trust with partners whose success directly impacts your own business performance. Your subconscious mind naturally organizes itself around themes of strategic partnerships, quality management, and the multiplication of capabilities that occurs when individual businesses collaborate effectively to serve larger markets. Month 18 was when we faced our biggest challenge yet. Amazon changed their algorithm and fee structure, which reduced our profit margins by 30% overnight and forced us to completely reevaluate our business model and pricing strategies. He shows you the financial analysis they conducted during this crisis period, demonstrating how they systematically evaluated each product's profitability, identified opportunities for cost reduction, and developed new pricing strategies that restored their profit margins. Instead of panicking or reducing our operations, we used the algorithm change as motivation to diversify our sales channels. We launched our products on eBay, developed relationships with wholesale buyers, and even started selling directly to consumers through our own website. Your eyelids are becoming pleasantly heavy as his voice carries you deeper into understanding how adaptability and strategic diversification create business resilience that transforms challenges into opportunities for sustainable growth. The diversification strategy not only recovered our lost profits, but actually increased our total revenue by 60% within 6 months because we were no longer dependent on a single sales channel for our business success. You can feel how their story demonstrates the evolution from single-channel dependence to multi-channel mastery, from reactive crisis management to proactive business development that creates multiple streams of revenue and reduces risk. But the most significant development during this period was Scotty's evolution from operations assistant to true business partner. He developed expertise in logistics, supplier relationships, and inventory management that complemented my focus on product development and financial strategy. The office setting seems to expand around you as their partnership deepens, representing how collaborative relationships can multiply individual capabilities and create business outcomes that exceed what either person could achieve independently. By the end of year 2, we had established ourselves as serious players in the kitchen utensils market on Amazon. Our products consistently ranked in the top 10 for their categories, We had developed a loyal customer base that provided recurring revenue through repeat purchases, and we were generating enough profit to support expansion into new product categories. Your breathing continues to slow and deepen as their story carries you through the process of building sustainable competitive advantages through quality products, excellent customer service, and strategic business relationships. The supplier relationship had evolved into a true partnership where they would develop new products specifically for our brand based on market trends we identified and customer needs we discovered through our direct interaction with end users. You watch as he shows you product development timelines, customer feedback analysis, and market research that demonstrates their sophisticated approach to identifying opportunities and developing products that serve real needs in profitable markets. Most importantly, we had learned to think systematically about every aspect of our business, from product selection to customer acquisition to operational efficiency. Every decision was guided by data and strategic thinking rather than emotions or short-term considerations. The evening continues to deepen around the professional office setting, creating perfect conditions for the abundance programming embedded in their systematic approach to business building to integrate with your own expanding understanding of wealth creation through strategic partnerships and operational excellence. Year 3 began with us having the confidence, systems, and financial resources to pursue opportunities that would have seemed impossible when we were working out of our parents' garage with a $50 budget and big dreams. As the 4th chapter reaches its conclusion, you can feel your mind naturally organizing itself around themes of strategic partnerships, systematic growth, and the transformation from individual contributors to business leaders who create value through their vision, systems, and ability to build effective teams. The office environment has become a symbol of how professional infrastructure and strategic thinking create the foundation for sustainable business growth that generates increasing wealth while serving larger markets more effectively. The scene transitions to the bustling convention floor of an Amazon seller conference in Las Vegas, where hundreds of entrepreneurs, suppliers, and industry experts gather to share knowledge, build relationships, and discover the latest strategies for building successful e-commerce businesses. You find yourself walking beside Brady through the exhibit hall, surrounded by the energy of ambitious business owners who understand that continuous learning drives sustainable success. This conference was a turning point in how we thought about our business, Brady says, pausing at a booth displaying advanced inventory management software, while the sounds of networking conversations and educational presentations create an atmosphere of focused entrepreneurial energy. Your body naturally settles into relaxation as the educational environment creates perfect conditions for your subconscious mind to absorb the abundance programming embedded in the mentorship and strategic insights that would transform their approach from tactical execution to strategic vision. We had been successful by Amazon seller standards, generating 6-figure annual revenue, maintaining healthy profit margins, growing consistently month over month. But we knew we were still thinking too small, still approaching this as a side business rather than a real enterprise with unlimited potential. The convention atmosphere around you pulses with the energy of possibility and growth, representing the community of successful entrepreneurs who understand that wealth creation accelerates when knowledge is shared and strategic relationships are developed. That's when we met Marcus Chen, a seller who had built his Amazon business from 0 to 8 figures in annual revenue over 6 years. He wasn't speaking at the conference, just attending like us, but his presence and the respect other sellers showed him made it obvious that he had achieved something extraordinary. You watch as Brady describes their first conversation with Marcus, which took place in the convention center lobby during a break between educational sessions, surrounded by the comfortable chairs and natural lighting that encouraged longer, more meaningful discussions. Marcus's approach to business was completely different from ours. Where we focused on individual product success, he thought about brand building and customer lifetime value. Where we worried about daily sales fluctuations, he planned strategies that would compound value over years rather than months. Your breathing naturally synchronizes with the rhythm of wisdom being shared, creating ideal conditions for absorbing the strategic principles and long-term thinking that separate successful entrepreneurs from truly wealthy business builders. The first thing Marcus taught us was that sustainable wealth comes from building assets rather than just generating income. Our products were generating cash flow, but we weren't building anything that could be scaled, sold, or leveraged into even larger opportunities. The convention setting around you represents the gathering place where successful entrepreneurs share the knowledge and strategies that accelerate wealth creation beyond what individual effort alone can achieve. He showed us his business structure, multiple brands across different product categories, each supported by sophisticated marketing systems, customer data analysis, and operational procedures that could function profitably without his daily involvement. Your subconscious mind naturally organizes itself around themes of asset building, systematic scaling, and the transformation from working in a business to building a business that creates wealth through its inherent value rather than just its operational income. But the most important insight Marcus shared was about the difference between building a job for yourself and building a business that could eventually operate without you. We had created jobs that paid well, but we hadn't built something that could grow beyond our personal time and effort limitations. You can feel how this mentorship represents the crucial transition point where successful small business owners evolve into strategic entrepreneurs who build enterprises that create sustainable wealth and eventual financial freedom. Marcus spent 3 hours with us that afternoon, reviewing our business model, analyzing our growth strategies, and helping us identify the specific changes that would transform our operation from a profitable hobby into a serious wealth-building enterprise. The evening light filtering through the convention center windows creates a warm atmosphere that supports deeper learning and strategic thinking, perfect conditions for absorbing business wisdom that compounds into extraordinary results over time. His first recommendation was to focus on building our brand identity rather than just selling products. Customers who connect with your brand become repeat buyers who generate predictable revenue and provide word-of-mouth marketing that reduces customer acquisition costs. You watch as Brady shows you the brand development plan they created based on Marcus's guidance. Logo redesign, packaging improvements, customer experience mapping, and content marketing strategies that would transform their anonymous products into a recognized and trusted brand. The second insight was about the importance of building systems that could be operated by employees rather than depending on the founders for every decision and task. Scalable businesses require procedures that maintain quality and efficiency without requiring constant oversight. Your eyelids are becoming pleasantly heavy as his voice carries you deeper into understanding how systematic thinking and strategic delegation create the foundation for business growth that exceeds the limitations of individual time and energy. Marcus also introduced us to the concept of lifetime customer value versus customer acquisition cost. Instead of thinking about individual transactions, successful businesses optimize for the total value each customer generates over their entire relationship with the brand. The convention environment seems to expand around you as your understanding of strategic business thinking deepens, representing how mentorship and knowledge sharing accelerate the learning process beyond what trial and error alone can achieve. By the end of that conference, we had completely restructured our approach to business building. Instead of launching individual products and hoping they succeeded, we developed integrated brand strategies that created multiple touchpoints with customers and encouraged long-term loyalty. Your breathing continues to slow and deepen as their story demonstrates how strategic mentorship and community learning create exponential improvements in business performance and wealth-building potential. The most profound shift was moving from a scarcity mindset focused on protecting our individual success to an abundance mindset focused on building something valuable enough to benefit everyone involved: customers, employees, suppliers, and ourselves. You can feel how the mentorship experience represents the transformation from small-scale thinking to enterprise-level vision, from short-term tactics to long-term strategy, from individual success to collaborative wealth creation. 6 months after implementing Marcus's recommendations, our monthly revenue had doubled, our profit margins had improved by 40%, and we had built operational systems that allowed us to focus on strategy and growth rather than daily task management. The conference setting has become a symbol of how continuous learning and strategic relationships create the knowledge foundation necessary for building businesses that generate sustainable wealth while serving larger markets more effectively. Most importantly, we had developed the strategic thinking and systematic approach that would support whatever level of growth we chose to pursue, whether that meant building $1 million business or a $100 million enterprise. As the 5th chapter reaches its conclusion, you can feel your mind naturally organizing itself around themes of strategic mentorship, systematic business building, and the transformation from tactical execution to strategic vision that creates unlimited potential for wealth generation and business success. The scene transitions to a modern warehouse and office complex on the outskirts of Athens, where Brady and Scotty have established their expanded operations center. You find yourself walking through a professional facility with climate-controlled inventory storage, dedicated workspace areas, shipping and receiving stations, and the unmistakable atmosphere of a business that has evolved into a serious commercial enterprise. This facility represents our commitment to scaling beyond anything we had previously imagined possible, Brady says, gesturing toward rows of industrial shelving stocked with thousands of units across their expanding product line. Moving here meant we were ready to invest in the infrastructure necessary for generating millions in annual revenue. Your body naturally relaxes as the professional environment creates perfect conditions for your subconscious mind to absorb the abundance programming embedded in their systematic approach to building scalable wealth through strategic infrastructure and operational excellence. By year 4, we were managing 47 different products across 6 kitchen categories, generating consistent monthly revenues between $100,000 and $150,000, and facing the operational complexity that comes with serious business success. The evening light filtering through large windows illuminates sophisticated inventory management systems, quality control stations, and employee workspaces that demonstrate the level of professionalization required for sustainable growth at scale. But this expansion also meant we were approaching our biggest challenge yet: the transition from founders who could personally oversee every aspect of operations to executives who had to build systems and teams capable of maintaining quality and efficiency without constant supervision. You watch as Brady shows you their organizational chart, employee handbooks, standard operating procedures, and performance metrics that represent their evolution from small business owners to enterprise leaders building something larger than themselves. The decision to hire 10 additional employees was both exciting and terrifying. It meant committing to payroll costs that exceeded our previous total monthly expenses, while trusting that our systems were robust enough to maintain profitability during the learning curve of team expansion. Your breathing naturally synchronizes with the rhythm of their growth story, creating ideal conditions for absorbing the leadership principles and scaling strategies that transform individual success into organizational success. Each new hire represented a test of our ability to communicate our vision, transfer our knowledge, and maintain the quality standards that had built our reputation while delegating responsibilities we had previously handled personally. The warehouse setting around you represents the infrastructure necessary for serious wealth building, creating perfect symbolism for your mind's absorption of abundance principles related to systematic scaling and strategic investment in business foundations. The most challenging aspect was developing the financial management systems necessary for tracking cash flow, inventory investment, payroll obligations, and profit margins across a business that was generating and spending hundreds of thousands of dollars monthly. Your subconscious mind naturally organizes itself around themes of financial sophistication, operational complexity, and the transformation from simple profit tracking to comprehensive business analytics that guide strategic decision-making. We implemented enterprise-level accounting software, developed monthly financial reporting procedures, and hired a part-time CFO consultant who helped us understand the financial metrics that matter most for businesses at our scale and growth trajectory. He shows you financial dashboards displaying key performance indicators, gross margins, inventory turnover, customer acquisition costs, lifetime value calculations, and growth projections that demonstrate their sophisticated approach to business analytics and strategic planning. But the real test came when we decided to make our largest inventory investment ever, a $250,000 purchase order that would stock 6 months of inventory across our entire product line while funding the launch of 12 new products simultaneously. Your eyelids are becoming pleasantly heavy as his voice carries you deeper into understanding how calculated risks and strategic investments create the foundation for exponential growth rather than incremental progress. This inventory investment represented more money than we had generated in total profits during our first 3 years combined. Success would position us for our largest growth period ever, while failure could potentially bankrupt the business we had spent years building. You can feel how their story demonstrates the evolution from small-scale safety to large-scale strategic risk-taking, from protecting existing success to investing in transformational growth opportunities. The financial stress of managing cash flow during this expansion period tested our partnership, our systems, and our confidence in ways we had never experienced. There were weeks when we questioned whether we had overextended ourselves beyond our ability to execute successfully. The warehouse environment seems to contract slightly around you as Brady describes the pressure and uncertainty of that challenging period, representing how growth often requires navigating through difficulty before achieving breakthrough success. But we had learned to make decisions based on data and strategic analysis rather than emotions and fear. Our historical performance, market research, and operational capabilities all supported the conclusion that this investment would generate the returns necessary to justify the risk. Your breathing continues to slow and deepen as their story carries you through the process of making high-stakes business decisions with confidence derived from systematic analysis and proven track record, rather than hope or speculation. 6 weeks after placing that massive inventory order, we experienced our first $100,000 sales month, a milestone that validated our investment decision and demonstrated that our systems could handle the volume and complexity of a truly scalable business. You watch as he shows you the sales reports and profit calculations from that breakthrough month, displaying the financial results that proved their strategic thinking and operational systems could support whatever level of growth they chose to pursue. More importantly, we had proven to ourselves that we could successfully navigate the transition from small business owners focused on daily operations to business executives capable of making strategic investments that create exponential rather than linear growth. The evening continues to deepen around the professional facility, creating perfect conditions for the abundance programming embedded in their systematic approach to business scaling to integrate with your own expanding understanding of wealth creation through strategic risk-taking and operational excellence. That $250,000 inventory investment generated over $800,000 in sales over the following 6 months, producing net profits that exceeded our total business income from the previous year, while establishing inventory levels that supported consistent product availability. As the 6th chapter reaches its conclusion, you can feel your mind naturally organizing itself around themes of strategic investment, calculated risk-taking, and the transformation from protecting existing success to building the infrastructure necessary for unlimited business growth and wealth generation. The warehouse facility has become a symbol of how professional infrastructure and systematic scaling create the foundation for businesses that generate sustainable wealth while serving larger markets with increasing efficiency and profitability. The professional atmosphere of their warehouse facility shifts dramatically as you find yourself with Brady and Scotty in an emergency meeting room, laptops open to Amazon seller dashboards showing catastrophic changes that threaten everything they have built over the past 5 years. The evening light filtering through the windows seems dimmer now, reflecting the gravity of the crisis that will test their business resilience and partnership strength. "This was our darkest hour," Brady says, his voice carrying the weight of someone who has navigated through business failure that seemed inevitable. Amazon had implemented algorithm changes that affected 70% of our product listings, reducing our daily sales from $4,000 to $800 overnight. Your body naturally settles into deeper relaxation as the crisis atmosphere creates perfect conditions for your subconscious mind to absorb the abundance programming embedded in their demonstration of resilience, strategic thinking, and partnership strength during extreme business adversity. The algorithm change wasn't just affecting our sales, it was affecting our product rankings, our advertising effectiveness, and our ability to compete with lower-priced competitors who had suddenly gained visibility advantages we couldn't match with our existing strategies. You watch as Brady shows you the sales charts from that period, a dramatic cliff where consistent growth suddenly plummeted to levels that couldn't support their operational expenses, employee payroll, and inventory commitments that were already locked in place. We had 60 days of operating expenses in our business bank account, but our sales velocity indicated it would take 4 months to clear our existing inventory at the reduced sales rate. For the first time since starting the business, we were facing the real possibility of bankruptcy. The meeting room environment around you becomes charged with the intensity of entrepreneurs fighting for the survival of everything they have created, representing the crucial moments when character and strategic thinking determine whether challenges become defeats or catalysts for stronger foundations. The financial pressure was compounded by our recent expansion decisions. We had committed to the largest inventory order in our company history just weeks before the algorithm change, and those products were arriving daily while our sales had essentially stopped. Your breathing naturally synchronizes with the tension and urgency of their crisis management process, creating ideal conditions for absorbing the resilience principles and strategic thinking that transform business disasters into opportunities for stronger competitive positions. But the most difficult aspect was the strain it placed on our partnership. For the first time since becoming business partners, Scotty and I were disagreeing about fundamental strategy decisions under extreme pressure, with no clear right answers and no time for extended analysis. Your subconscious mind naturally organizes itself around themes of partnership resilience, crisis leadership, and the transformation from comfortable success to battle-tested business strength that emerges through surviving and overcoming serious challenges. Scotty wanted to liquidate inventory immediately at cost to preserve cash flow and reduce our exposure to further losses. I wanted to invest our remaining resources in advertising and marketing to fight for market share recovery. Both strategies had merit, and both carried significant risks. The crisis setting seems to intensify around you, as their story demonstrates how external challenges can create internal conflicts that threaten not just business success, but personal relationships built over years of shared vision and collaborative achievement. We spent 3 days in this room, analyzing every possible strategy, modeling financial scenarios, and ultimately remembering that our partnership had always been built on combining our different strengths rather than requiring us to always agree on every decision. You can feel how their story represents the crucial test that determines whether partnerships strengthen or fracture under pressure, whether shared vision survives adversity, and whether business relationships become deeper through surviving challenges together. The breakthrough came when we realized we were approaching the crisis with individual strategies rather than leveraging our complementary skills. Scotty's operational expertise and my strategic analysis were both necessary for developing a comprehensive solution that addressed immediate survival while positioning for long-term recovery. Your eyelids are becoming pleasantly heavy as his voice carries you deeper into understanding how crisis creates opportunities for discovering hidden strengths, developing new capabilities, and building business foundations that are stronger than what existed before the challenge occurred. Our combined strategy involved immediate cost reduction through operational efficiency improvements, strategic inventory liquidation to generate cash flow, increased advertising spend on our highest performing products, and accelerated development of new product launches designed specifically for the changed algorithm environment. The meeting room atmosphere begins to shift as their collaborative problem-solving process demonstrates how strategic thinking and partnership strength can transform apparently impossible situations into opportunities for business evolution and competitive advantage. We also made the difficult decision to temporarily reduce employee hours rather than eliminate positions, preserving our team while reducing payroll costs during the recovery period. This decision maintained the human infrastructure we would need for scaling back up when sales recovered. You watch as Brady shows you the day-by-day implementation plan they developed, specific action items, financial milestones, performance metrics, and contingency strategies that transformed overwhelming crisis into manageable tactical execution. The recovery process took 6 weeks of 18-hour days, complete focus on execution rather than strategy, and absolute commitment to the plan we had developed, even when daily results seemed to suggest we were failing. Your breathing continues to slow and deepen as their story carries you through the process of maintaining faith in strategic decisions during periods when external evidence suggests failure is inevitable, but internal analysis indicates success is still possible. But the most important lesson was discovering that we could navigate through business threats that seemed existential and emerge not just intact, but actually stronger than before the crisis began. The crisis atmosphere in the meeting room begins to dissipate as their story demonstrates how systematic problem-solving, partnership strength, and strategic persistence can transform business disasters into foundations for unprecedented growth and success. Week 7 after the algorithm change, our modified strategies began generating results. Daily sales recovered to 60% of previous levels. Our new products designed for the changed environment started gaining traction, and our cash flow stabilized enough to support normal operations. You can feel how their story represents the transformation from crisis survival to opportunity creation, from defensive strategy to offensive positioning, from protecting existing success to building stronger competitive advantages through adversity. 3 months later, our business was generating higher monthly revenue than ever before because the crisis had forced us to develop more sophisticated marketing strategies, more efficient operational procedures, and more resilient business systems that could adapt to future changes. As the 7th chapter reaches its conclusion, you can feel your mind naturally organizing itself around themes of crisis resilience, partnership strength, and the transformation from comfortable success to battle-tested business capabilities that create sustainable competitive advantages and unlimited growth potential. The meeting room has become a symbol of how strategic collaboration and systematic problem-solving can transform the worst business challenges into catalysts for achieving greater success than seemed possible before the crisis occurred. The scene transitions from the crisis meeting room to a celebratory dinner at an upscale restaurant in downtown Athens, where Brady and Scotty sit across from each other at a quiet corner table, their phones displaying Amazon seller dashboards that tell the story of their remarkable recovery and breakthrough to unprecedented success levels. 6 months after nearly losing everything, we were celebrating our first $200,000 sales month, Brady says, raising a glass of champagne as the warm restaurant atmosphere creates perfect conditions for savoring the sweetness of hard-earned victory and validated strategic thinking. Your body naturally settles into complete relaxation as the celebratory environment creates ideal conditions for your subconscious mind to absorb the abundance programming embedded in their demonstration of how crisis survival leads to breakthrough success and stronger business foundations. The algorithm crisis that almost destroyed our business had actually forced us to develop capabilities and strategies that our competitors weren't using. We emerged from survival mode with competitive advantages that we never would have discovered during comfortable growth periods. The elegant restaurant setting around you represents the rewards that become available when strategic thinking and partnership resilience transform apparent defeats into extraordinary victories that exceed previous levels of success and achievement. Our new advertising strategies were generating customer acquisition costs 50% lower than industry averages, while our conversion rates had improved by 30%, because we had optimized every aspect of our customer experience during the crisis recovery period. You watch as Brady shows you the performance metrics from their recovery period. Growth charts that demonstrate not just a return to previous success levels, but acceleration beyond anything they had previously achieved through their years of steady growth. But the real reward wasn't financial. It was the confidence that comes from knowing we could navigate through any business challenge and emerge stronger. We had tested our partnership, our systems, and our strategic thinking under extreme pressure and proven that our foundation was solid. Your breathing naturally synchronizes with the rhythm of celebration and reflection, creating perfect conditions for absorbing the abundance principles embedded in their demonstration of how adversity creates opportunities for discovering hidden capabilities and building unshakable business confidence. The crisis had also clarified our individual roles within the partnership in ways that years of comfortable growth never could. Scotty had proven his ability to manage complex operations under pressure, while I had demonstrated strategic leadership that could guide us through uncertainty toward clear objectives. The restaurant atmosphere seems to expand around you as their partnership deepens through shared triumph, representing how collaborative relationships become stronger through surviving challenges together and achieving results that validate their combined capabilities. More importantly, we had learned to view business challenges as opportunities for improvement rather than threats to our success. The mindset shift from defensive protection to offensive optimization changed how we approached every aspect of business development. Your subconscious mind naturally organizes itself around themes of resilience, rewards, strategic confidence, and the transformation from survival thinking to abundance thinking that creates unlimited potential for business growth and wealth generation. The financial results spoke for themselves. We had not only recovered our previous revenue levels, but exceeded them by implementing systems and strategies that were more sophisticated than anything we had used during our initial growth period. He shows you detailed financial reports that demonstrate the comprehensive improvement across all business metrics: higher profit margins, better inventory turnover, improved customer lifetime value, and operational efficiency that exceeded their pre-crisis performance by significant margins. Our employee team, which we had managed to preserve during the crisis, was now operating with procedures and systems that supported much higher volume and complexity while maintaining the quality standards that had built our reputation in the marketplace. Your eyelids are becoming pleasantly heavy as his voice carries you deeper into understanding how crisis-tested systems and team capabilities create business foundations that can support exponential growth and unlimited scaling potential. But the most significant development was the product line expansion we had launched during the recovery period. Our new products, designed specifically for the changed Amazon environment, were outperforming our established products and opening entirely new market opportunities. You can feel how their story demonstrates the transformation from defending existing success to creating new opportunities, from reacting to market changes to anticipating and capitalizing on evolving conditions that competitors haven't recognized. The celebration dinner wasn't just about reaching a new monthly revenue milestone. It was about proving to ourselves that we had built something resilient enough to survive any challenge and sophisticated enough to capitalize on any opportunity. The restaurant setting represents the reward phase where struggle transforms into triumph, where strategic persistence pays dividends that exceed the investment of effort and sacrifice required to achieve breakthrough results. We spent that evening planning our next phase of growth: international market expansion, additional product categories, and the infrastructure investments that would support our goal of building a business capable of generating over $1 million in annual profit. Your breathing continues to slow and deepen as their story carries you through the transition from survival celebration to strategic planning for the next level of business development and wealth creation that their strengthened foundation now supports. The most profound realization was understanding that the algorithm crisis hadn't been a setback. It had been preparation for building the kind of business that could thrive in any environment and capitalize on opportunities that would challenge less resilient competitors. You watch as he shows you their strategic plan for the following year: aggressive growth targets, expansion strategies, and operational objectives that demonstrate their evolution from small business owners to enterprise builders with unlimited ambition and proven capability. 6 months after our darkest business hour, we were sitting in that restaurant, knowing that we had not just survived our greatest challenge, but used it as a catalyst for achieving success beyond what we had previously thought possible. The celebratory atmosphere creates perfect conditions for the abundance programming embedded in their triumph story. to integrate with your own expanding understanding of how strategic resilience and partnership strength create unlimited potential for business success and wealth generation. That evening marked the transition from building a successful business to building a business empire that could support any lifestyle we chose to create, while generating wealth that compounds through multiple streams of income and asset appreciation. As the 8th chapter reaches its conclusion, you can feel your mind naturally organizing itself around themes of resilience rewards, strategic triumph, and the transformation from crisis survival to abundance celebration that validates the power of partnership, systematic thinking, and persistent execution. The restaurant celebration has become a symbol of how strategic persistence through adversity creates rewards that exceed not just recovery, but achievement of success levels that seemed impossible before the challenge that forced growth and capability development. The scene transitions from the celebratory restaurant to a modern corporate conference room where Brady and Scotty meet with their expanded management team, including operations managers, marketing specialists, and financial analysts who now help run the sophisticated business empire they have built. You find yourself observing a strategic planning meeting where the focus has shifted from survival and recovery to systematic expansion and market domination. 18 months after our crisis recovery, we were no longer thinking about growing our existing business. We were planning to build multiple businesses that could operate independently while supporting each other through shared resources and strategic synergies, Brady says, gesturing toward presentation screens displaying market analysis, competitive intelligence, and expansion strategies across multiple product categories. Your body naturally relaxes as the professional corporate environment creates perfect conditions for your subconscious mind to absorb the abundance programming embedded in their systematic approach to building scalable wealth through strategic diversification and organizational development. Our core kitchen utensils business was now generating consistent monthly revenues between $200,000 and $250,000 with profit margins that supported aggressive reinvestment in growth while providing substantial personal income for both partners. The conference room atmosphere around you represents the infrastructure of serious wealth building, where individual success has evolved into organizational success that creates value for employees, customers, and business partners while generating sustainable financial abundance for the founders. But we had learned that sustainable wealth comes from building multiple income streams rather than depending on single business success, regardless of how profitable that business might be at any given time. You watch as Brady presents their diversification strategy, expansion into home organization products, outdoor recreational equipment, and health and wellness accessories, each category supported by the same systematic approach that had built their kitchen utensils success. The road back from crisis had taught us that business resilience requires diversification across product lines, sales channels, supplier relationships, and even business models to create multiple layers of protection against market changes that could affect any single revenue stream. Your breathing naturally synchronizes with the strategic thinking being demonstrated, creating ideal conditions for absorbing the wealth-building principles embedded in their approach to systematic business expansion and risk management through diversification. Each new product category would be launched as a separate brand with its own identity, marketing strategy, and operational procedures, but leveraging our existing infrastructure for inventory management, customer service, and financial operations to maximize efficiency and minimize startup costs. The corporate setting seems to expand around you as their vision grows, representing how strategic thinking and systematic execution can transform individual business success into business empire development that creates exponential rather than linear wealth growth. Our team had grown to 15 employees across multiple departments: product development, marketing, operations, customer service, and financial management, each specializing in specific aspects of business development while contributing to our overall strategic objectives. Your subconscious mind naturally organizes itself around themes of organizational scaling, systematic delegation, and the transformation from founder-dependent operations to systems-dependent enterprises that can grow beyond the limitations of individual time and energy. The most significant development was implementing performance-based compensation systems that aligned employee success with business success, creating a team culture where everyone benefits from growth and efficiency improvements rather than just working for fixed salaries. He shows you organizational charts, performance metrics, and compensation structures that demonstrate their sophisticated approach to team building and leadership development that creates shared investment in business success and sustainable competitive advantages. But the real breakthrough was developing the financial systems necessary for managing multiple businesses simultaneously. Consolidated reporting, cross-business resource allocation, and strategic investment decisions that optimize overall portfolio performance rather than individual business metrics. Your eyelids are becoming pleasantly heavy as his voice carries you deeper into understanding how systematic business building and portfolio management create wealth that compounds through multiple channels while reducing dependence on any single source of income. Our quarterly business reviews now covered performance analysis across 4 different product categories, 3 sales channels, 2 international markets, and multiple strategic initiatives that would support our 5-year goal of building a business portfolio worth $10 million. You can feel how their story demonstrates the evolution from single business success to portfolio management, from tactical execution to strategic coordination, from individual wealth building to enterprise value creation that generates sustainable abundance. The road back from crisis had become the road forward to unlimited growth potential because we had learned to view every challenge as an opportunity to build stronger systems, better capabilities, and more resilient business foundations. The conference room environment creates perfect conditions for absorbing the abundance programming embedded in their systematic approach to business portfolio development and wealth creation through strategic diversification and organizational excellence. Our monthly revenue had stabilized at over $300,000 across all business lines, with net profit margins averaging 35% due to operational efficiencies and premium pricing strategies that we had developed through market leadership and brand recognition. You watch as he shows you financial dashboards displaying performance across their entire business portfolio, growth trends, profit margins, market share analysis, and strategic objectives that demonstrate their evolution from small business owners to enterprise executives building systematic wealth. But the most important metric was our Lifestyle Freedom Index, the percentage of business operations that could function profitably without requiring daily involvement from either founder, allowing us to focus on strategic development while maintaining the income and growth that supported our personal financial goals. Your breathing continues to slow and deepen as their story carries you through the process of building businesses that generate wealth through their systematic operation rather than requiring constant personal effort and attention from the founders. The road back from our crisis had taught us that true business success means building something valuable enough to operate without you, profitable enough to support your lifestyle goals, and resilient enough to thrive through any market conditions or competitive challenges. The corporate conference room represents the infrastructure of systematic wealth building, where individual entrepreneurial success evolves into organizational success that creates value for multiple stakeholders while generating compound returns on strategic investments and operational excellence. 2 years after nearly losing everything, we were managing a business portfolio that generated more wealth in a single quarter than we had earned in our first 3 years combined, while requiring less personal time and providing more lifestyle freedom than we had ever experienced. As the 9th chapter reaches its conclusion, you can feel your mind naturally organizing itself around themes of strategic diversification, systematic scaling, and the transformation from individual business success to portfolio management that creates sustainable wealth through multiple income streams and organizational development. The conference room setting has become a symbol of how strategic thinking and systematic execution can transform business success into business empire development that generates exponential wealth while providing the freedom to choose how you spend your time and energy. The scene transitions to the familiar family home where Brady and Scotty grew up, but the atmosphere has completely transformed from the modest, financially stressed environment of their childhood to a celebration of extraordinary success and family gratitude. You find yourself in the comfortable living room where their parents, relatives, and childhood friends have gathered to celebrate the brothers' achievement of their most meaningful milestone yet. This evening represents the moment when our business success became family transformation, Brady says, standing beside a large check made out to their parents for the full amount needed to pay off their mortgage, purchase their dream retirement home, and establish a financial security that seemed impossible during their children's struggling college years. Your body naturally settles into complete relaxation as the family celebration atmosphere creates perfect conditions for your subconscious mind to absorb the abundance programming embedded in their demonstration of how individual success can transform entire family systems and create generational wealth that benefits everyone they care about. 4 years ago, our parents were worried about our decision to start a business instead of pursuing traditional employment after college graduation. Tonight, they're celebrating because our risky entrepreneurial choice has generated enough wealth to secure their entire financial future. The warm family setting around you represents the ultimate reward of strategic business building, the ability to transform not just your own circumstances, but the circumstances of everyone you care about while building wealth that creates security and opportunity for future generations. Our annual business profit has reached $685,000, which we split equally between us, providing each brother with financial independence that supports any lifestyle choice while continuing to compound through reinvestment and business expansion. You watch as Brady shows photos documenting their parents' reaction to learning that their children's internet business had generated enough profit to eliminate all family financial stress while providing resources for their parents to pursue retirement dreams they had postponed for decades. But the real resurrection wasn't financial. It was psychological. We had transformed from young men who worried about affording textbooks to entrepreneurs who could provide financial security for our entire extended family while building businesses that create value for thousands of customers. Your breathing naturally synchronizes with the celebration energy, creating ideal conditions for absorbing the abundance principles embedded in their demonstration of how wealth building becomes meaningful when it serves purposes beyond individual accumulation and creates positive impact for families and communities. The mortgage payment celebration was symbolic of something much larger, proof that our strategic thinking, partnership strength, and systematic business building had created sustainable wealth rather than temporary success that could disappear during the next market change or competitive challenge. The family gathering seems to expand around you as multiple generations celebrate together, representing how individual entrepreneurial success can create ripple effects that benefit entire family systems and establish legacies that persist beyond the original business builders. Our younger cousins were asking detailed questions about how we built the business, what strategies worked best, what mistakes to avoid, and how they could apply similar principles to their own career and financial goals. Your subconscious mind naturally organizes itself around themes of generational impact, family transformation, and the multiplication of abundance that occurs when individual success becomes a model and resource for helping others achieve their own financial goals and entrepreneurial dreams. The conversation that evening focused less on our business metrics and more on the lifestyle freedom and financial security we had created. The ability to choose projects based on interest rather than income necessity, to travel without budget constraints, to pursue personal development without financial stress. He shows you planning documents for their next phase of personal development, advanced education programs, international business conferences, strategic networking opportunities, and lifestyle experiences that become possible when business success provides both financial resources and schedule flexibility. But the most profound aspect of the celebration was understanding that our crisis period hadn't been a temporary setback. It had been the catalyst for developing the business capabilities and psychological resilience that created our current level of success and future unlimited potential. Your eyelids are becoming pleasantly heavy as his voice carries you deeper into understanding how family celebration and generational impact represent the true rewards of systematic wealth building and strategic business development over time. The business portfolio we had built was now generating passive income streams that could support our current lifestyle indefinitely, while continuing to grow through compound returns on strategic investments and operational improvements that our management team implemented daily. You can feel how their story demonstrates the transformation from financial struggle to financial abundance, from individual success to family impact, from temporary achievement to sustainable wealth that creates security and opportunity for multiple generations. Our parents' celebration speech that evening focused on their pride in watching us develop not just business success, but character, integrity, and commitment to using our success for positive impact rather than just personal accumulation. The family setting creates perfect conditions for absorbing the abundance programming embedded in their approach to wealth building as a tool for family transformation and community impact rather than just individual financial achievement. The mortgage payment was followed by establishing college funds for our younger relatives, contributing to local small business development programs, and creating scholarship opportunities for entrepreneurship students at the University of Georgia, where our journey had begun. You watch as he shows you their philanthropic planning documents, strategic giving that leverages their business success to create educational opportunities and economic development in their community, while building personal fulfillment through meaningful impact beyond profit generation. That evening marked our complete resurrection from struggling college students to financially independent entrepreneurs who had built something valuable enough to transform our family's economic circumstances for generations while creating positive impact in our community. Your breathing continues to slow and deepen as their story carries you through the process of transforming individual business success into family legacy and community contribution that creates meaning and purpose beyond personal financial achievement. The celebration photos from that evening capture the moment when our business success became family transformation, when years of strategic thinking, systematic execution, and partnership resilience paid dividends that exceeded our original dreams and created security for everyone we care about. The family home represents the full circle completion of their transformation journey, where the same house that witnessed their early struggles now celebrates the abundant success that validates every strategic decision and sacrifice made during their business building process. 4 years after starting with $50 and a dream, we were celebrating the achievement of financial independence that provides lifestyle freedom while building businesses that continue growing and creating value for customers, employees, and communities beyond our immediate family. As the 10th chapter reaches its conclusion, you can feel your mind naturally organizing itself around themes of family transformation, generational wealth, and the resurrection of dreams that seemed impossible but became inevitable through strategic thinking, systematic execution, and persistent commitment to building something valuable. The family celebration has become a symbol of how individual entrepreneurial success can transform entire family systems while creating legacies that benefit multiple generations and contribute to community development beyond personal financial achievement. The scene transitions to a luxury resort in Costa Rica, where Brady and Scotty have traveled to celebrate their business success while conducting strategic planning for their next phase of growth in a setting that represents the lifestyle freedom their wealth has created. You find yourself on a private terrace overlooking the Pacific Ocean, where the brothers review their business empire while enjoying the financial independence that allows them to work from anywhere in the world. This trip represents the lifestyle freedom that was our original motivation for building the business, the ability to work from beautiful locations while our systems generate income automatically, Brady says, settling into a comfortable chair with his laptop open to business dashboards that show their operations running smoothly despite their geographic distance from headquarters. Your body naturally settles into complete relaxation as the luxury resort environment creates perfect conditions for your subconscious mind to absorb the abundance programming embedded in their demonstration of how systematic business building creates location independence and lifestyle design opportunities. Our business portfolio is now generating $4.8 million in annual sales with net profits of $685,000 annually, split equally between us, providing each partner with financial independence that supports any lifestyle choice while continuing to compound through strategic reinvestment and expansion. The oceanfront setting around you represents the ultimate reward of entrepreneurial success. The freedom to choose where and how you spend your time, while building wealth through business systems that operate independently of your physical location or daily involvement. But the real elixir we've discovered isn't just financial success. It's the systematic approach to identifying opportunities, building solutions, and scaling operations that can be applied to any market, any product category, any business model that serves real customer needs. You watch as Brady shows you their documentation process for successful business building, frameworks for market analysis, product development, operational scaling, and team building that represents knowledge they now share with other entrepreneurs through consulting and educational programs. The most valuable lesson we learned through our 7-year journey is that sustainable wealth comes from building systems that create value for others while generating compound returns through strategic reinvestment rather than personal consumption of short-term profits. Your breathing naturally synchronizes with the peaceful ocean rhythm, creating ideal conditions for absorbing the wealth-building principles embedded in their systematic approach to business development and lifestyle design through entrepreneurial success. We've documented every strategy, every system, every decision-making framework that contributed to our success because we realized that our biggest opportunity for impact comes from teaching others how to replicate similar results in their own markets and circumstances. The resort setting seems to expand around you as their vision grows beyond personal success to include sharing knowledge and strategies that help other entrepreneurs achieve similar levels of financial independence and business success. We've started a mastermind program for Amazon sellers who want to scale beyond 6 figures annually, and the transformation stories we're seeing prove that our systematic approach can be adapted to any product category, any market size, any starting budget. Your subconscious mind naturally organizes itself around themes of knowledge sharing, multiplicative impact, and the transformation from individual wealth building to community wealth building that creates abundance for multiple families and business partners. The consulting income from sharing our business building strategies now generates an additional $200,000 annually, while providing the personal satisfaction that comes from helping other entrepreneurs avoid the mistakes and accelerate through the learning curves that cost us years of trial and error. He shows you testimonials from mastermind participants who have applied their frameworks to build successful Amazon businesses in categories ranging from pet supplies to fitness equipment to home improvement tools, each achieving financial independence through systematic application of proven principles. But the most meaningful aspect of our success is understanding that the wealth we've created provides options rather than obligations. We can choose to expand our existing businesses, launch new ventures, travel extensively, pursue education, or focus on family without being constrained by financial limitations. The ocean view creates perfect conditions for absorbing the abundance programming embedded in their demonstration of how systematic business building creates lifestyle freedom that allows you to choose how you spend your time based on interests and values rather than economic necessity. The elixir we're bringing back to share with others isn't just our specific Amazon strategies, it's the mindset and systematic approach that can transform any expertise, any market knowledge, any skill set into sustainable wealth through serving others and building valuable solutions. Your eyelids are becoming pleasantly heavy as his voice carries you deeper into understanding how individual entrepreneurial success becomes a template and resource for helping others achieve their own financial goals and business dreams. Tomorrow, we're flying to meet with potential investors who want to fund our expansion into European markets, but we're approaching these conversations from a position of strength rather than need, because our business already generates sufficient cash flow to fund any growth we choose to pursue. You can feel how their story demonstrates the transformation from needing outside resources to having the luxury of choosing strategic partnerships that accelerate growth while maintaining control over business direction and operational decisions. The return with the elixir represents our commitment to ensuring that other entrepreneurs don't have to navigate the same challenges, make the same mistakes, or spend the same time learning what we've already discovered through 7 years of systematic business building. The luxury resort environment represents the lifestyle rewards that become available when business success provides both financial resources and location independence, creating perfect symbolism for your mind's absorption of abundance principles related to wealth building and lifestyle design. Our business empire now operates across multiple product categories, international markets, and sales channels, while requiring minimal daily involvement from either founder, demonstrating that systematic business building creates assets rather than just income streams. You watch as he shows you their passive income reports, revenue generated while they sleep, profits earned while they travel, business growth that continues during vacations, because their systems and teams maintain operations without requiring constant founder oversight. The most profound realization is that our Amazon business success was never really about selling products online. It was about learning to identify market opportunities, build systematic solutions, and scale operations that create value for customers while generating sustainable wealth for entrepreneurs. Your breathing continues to slow and deepen as their story carries you through the complete transformation from struggling college students to financially independent entrepreneurs who have built systematic wealth while creating positive impact for family, employees, customers, and other business builders. 7 years after starting with $50 in a YouTube video, we're sitting on this Costa Rican terrace, knowing that we've built something sustainable enough to support any lifestyle we choose, while valuable enough to help other entrepreneurs achieve similar levels of financial independence and business success. The oceanfront setting provides perfect conditions for the abundance programming embedded throughout their complete transformation story to integrate with your own expanding understanding of systematic wealth building and entrepreneurial opportunity recognition. The scene transitions from the Costa Rican resort to a sleek corporate office overlooking downtown Atlanta, where Brady and Scotty have established their expanded headquarters for managing multiple business entities, investment portfolios, and strategic partnerships that represent their evolution from Amazon sellers to diversified entrepreneurs building a comprehensive business empire. This office represents our transition from building a successful business to building a business portfolio that generates wealth through multiple channels while creating value across different markets and industries, Brady says, gesturing toward wall-mounted monitors displaying real-time performance data from their various enterprises and investment holdings. Your body naturally settles into deeper relaxation as the sophisticated corporate environment creates perfect conditions for your subconscious mind to absorb the abundance programming embedded in their systematic approach to business portfolio development and diversified wealth creation. Our core Amazon business continues generating over $4 million in annual sales, but it now represents only 60% of our total revenue because we've successfully expanded into wholesale distribution, international markets, and complementary business models that leverage our expertise and infrastructure. The executive office atmosphere around you represents the infrastructure of serious wealth building, where individual business success evolves into portfolio management that creates multiple income streams while reducing dependence on any single revenue source or market condition. We've acquired 2 smaller Amazon sellers whose founders wanted to exit their businesses, integrating their product lines and customer bases into our operations while providing them with immediate liquidity and us with expanded market share and economies of scale. You watch as Brady shows you acquisition analysis documents, integration timelines, and performance metrics that demonstrate their sophisticated approach to business growth through strategic acquisitions rather than just organic expansion. The acquisition strategy has taught us about business valuation, due diligence processes, integration management, and the importance of cultural alignment when combining different entrepreneurial organizations into unified operational systems. Your breathing naturally synchronizes with the rhythm of strategic business development, creating ideal conditions for absorbing the wealth-building principles embedded in their approach to building business empires through systematic expansion and strategic partnerships. But the most significant expansion has been into business education and consulting, where we help other entrepreneurs apply our systematic approach to building Amazon businesses that generate sustainable wealth while serving genuine market needs. The corporate setting seems to expand around you as their impact grows beyond personal wealth creation to include knowledge sharing that helps other entrepreneurs achieve financial independence through proven business-building strategies and systematic execution. Our educational programs now generate over $300,000 annually, while providing the personal satisfaction that comes from helping other business builders avoid common mistakes and accelerate their path to financial independence and lifestyle freedom. Your subconscious mind naturally organizes itself around themes of diversified income, scalable impact, and the transformation from individual success to collaborative wealth creation that benefits multiple entrepreneurs and their families. We've also expanded into real estate investment, using our business cash flow to acquire rental properties that provide passive income streams while building equity through appreciation in carefully selected markets with strong economic fundamentals. He shows you real estate portfolio reports displaying property values, rental income, and market analysis that demonstrates their sophisticated approach to wealth diversification through multiple asset classes that complement their business income. The real estate investments serve dual purposes, generating passive income that could support our lifestyle even if our business income stopped, while providing tax advantages and inflation protection that preserve and grow our wealth over long time periods. Your eyelids are becoming pleasantly heavy as his voice carries you deeper into understanding how diversified wealth building creates multiple layers of financial security while generating compound returns through strategic asset allocation and systematic investment approaches. Our investment portfolio now includes individual stocks, index funds, cryptocurrency holdings, and alternative investments that are managed by professional advisors who help us optimize returns while managing risk across different economic scenarios and market conditions. You can feel how their story demonstrates the evolution from business builders to wealth managers, from single income focus to diversified portfolio strategy, from working for money to having money work for them through systematic investment and asset development. The most exciting development is our venture capital fund that invests in other e-commerce startups, allowing us to leverage our expertise and capital to help other entrepreneurs while generating returns through their business success and eventual exits. The corporate office environment creates perfect conditions for absorbing the abundance programming embedded in their approach to building wealth that compounds through multiple channels while creating positive impact for other entrepreneurs and business builders. Each investment and business expansion is guided by our core principle of creating value for others while generating sustainable returns, whether that's helping customers through better products, employees through career opportunities, or other entrepreneurs through education and capital. You watch as he shows you their strategic planning documents for the next 5 years, expansion targets, investment objectives, and impact goals that demonstrate their evolution from individual wealth building to systematic wealth creation that benefits multiple stakeholders. Our monthly revenue across all business entities now exceeds $500,000, with net profits that support aggressive reinvestment while providing each partner with financial independence that eliminates any economic constraints on personal choices and lifestyle decisions. Your breathing continues to slow and deepen as their story carries you through the process of building business empires that generate wealth through systematic operations while creating positive impact for customers, employees, investors, and communities. But the most meaningful metric is our freedom index, the percentage of our wealth that generates passive income without requiring daily involvement, allowing us to choose projects based on interest and impact rather than economic necessity. The sophisticated office setting represents the infrastructure of systematic wealth building, where entrepreneurial success evolves into business portfolio management that creates sustainable abundance while providing resources for pursuing purpose-driven projects and community impact. 5 years after nearly losing everything during our algorithm crisis, we're managing a business empire that generates more wealth in a single quarter than we dreamed possible during our early years, while providing lifestyle freedom that allows us to pursue any interest or opportunity. As the 12th chapter reaches its conclusion, you can feel your mind naturally organizing itself around themes of business portfolio development, diversified wealth creation, and the transformation from individual entrepreneurial success to systematic wealth building that creates abundance through multiple channels and strategic investments. The corporate headquarters has become a symbol of how strategic thinking and systematic execution can transform individual business success into business empire development that generates exponential wealth while creating positive impact for multiple stakeholders and communities. The scene transitions to a prestigious entrepreneurship conference in Silicon Valley, where Brady and Scotty are featured speakers sharing their transformation story with an audience of ambitious business builders, investors, and industry leaders who represent the next generation of entrepreneurs seeking to replicate their systematic approach to wealth building. Standing on this stage represents the compound effect of 7 years of strategic thinking, systematic execution, and continuous learning that transformed us from broke college students into entrepreneurs who can share proven strategies for building sustainable wealth, Brady says, looking out at an audience of several hundred entrepreneurs who are taking detailed notes and recording his presentation. Your body naturally settles into complete relaxation as the educational conference environment creates perfect conditions for your subconscious mind to absorb the abundance programming embedded in their demonstration of how individual success compounds into community impact and shared wealth creation. The most important lesson we can share is that sustainable wealth building isn't about discovering secret strategies or having unique advantages. It's about applying proven principles consistently over time while adapting to changing conditions and continuously improving your systems and capabilities. The conference atmosphere around you represents the multiplication of impact that occurs when successful entrepreneurs share their knowledge and strategies with others who are committed to building valuable businesses that serve real market needs while generating financial independence. Our 7-year journey from $50 to $4.8 million in annual sales demonstrates that compound growth becomes inevitable when you combine systematic thinking with persistent execution and strategic reinvestment of profits into larger opportunities. You watch as Brady presents their year-by-year growth metrics, showing how small improvements in key performance indicators compound into extraordinary results when maintained consistently over multiple years of strategic business development. The compound effect isn't just financial, it's operational, strategic, and personal. Every system we built made the next system easier to implement. Every challenge we overcame made us better prepared for larger challenges. Every success created confidence for pursuing bigger opportunities. Your breathing naturally synchronizes with the rhythm of wisdom being shared, creating ideal conditions for absorbing the wealth-building principles embedded in their demonstration of how consistent progress compounds into exponential results over time. We've documented every framework, every decision-making process, every operational procedure that contributed to our success, because we believe that entrepreneurial knowledge should be shared rather than hoarded, creating abundance for entire communities rather than just individual businesses. The conference setting seems to expand around you as their impact multiplies through knowledge sharing, representing how individual success can become collective success when valuable insights are shared generously with others who are committed to applying proven principles. Our mastermind program now includes over 200 entrepreneurs who are applying our systematic approach to building Amazon businesses, and their collective success demonstrates that our frameworks can be adapted to any product category, market size, or starting budget. Your subconscious mind naturally organizes itself around themes of compound growth, systematic replication, and the transformation from individual wealth building to community wealth building that creates abundance for multiple families and business partners. The most rewarding aspect of our success is watching other entrepreneurs achieve financial independence using strategies we developed, proving that wealth building can be systematic and repeatable rather than dependent on luck or unique circumstances. He shows you success stories from mastermind participants, entrepreneurs who have built 6-figure and 7-figure Amazon businesses using their frameworks, each story representing financial independence achieved through systematic application of proven principles. But the compound effect extends beyond business metrics to include the lifestyle freedom, family security, and community impact that become possible when systematic wealth building creates financial resources that exceed personal consumption needs. Your eyelids are becoming pleasantly heavy as his voice carries you deeper into understanding how compound success creates opportunities for pursuing purpose-driven projects, community development, and positive impact that extends far beyond individual financial achievement. Our scholarship program at the University of Georgia has now funded entrepreneurship education for over 50 students, each representing potential future business leaders who will create value for their communities while building their own financial independence. You can feel how their story demonstrates the transformation from wealth accumulation to wealth distribution, from individual success to community impact, from building personal financial security to creating opportunities for others to achieve similar results. The speaking fees and consulting income from sharing our story now generate over $400,000 annually, while providing platforms for inspiring other entrepreneurs and sharing strategies that have been proven effective across multiple markets and business models. The conference environment creates perfect conditions for absorbing the abundance programming embedded in their approach to building wealth that compounds through business success while creating positive impact through knowledge sharing and community development. Each presentation and mastermind session reinforces our understanding that entrepreneurial success creates responsibilities as well as opportunities. The responsibility to share knowledge, mentor others, and use our resources for positive impact beyond personal benefit. You watch as he shows you their community impact metrics, businesses launched, jobs created, wealth generated by their mastermind participants, and economic development that has resulted from their knowledge sharing and entrepreneurship education programs. The compound effect of our success now extends through dozens of other businesses that are generating millions in collective revenue while providing financial independence for entrepreneurs across different industries and geographic markets. Your breathing continues to slow and deepen as their story carries you through the process of transforming individual success into collective success, demonstrating how compound wealth building creates abundant resources for pursuing purpose-driven impact and community development. 7 years after starting with retail arbitrage, we're standing on this stage representing proof that systematic thinking and persistent execution can transform any starting point into extraordinary results when guided by principles that create value for others while building sustainable wealth. The conference setting represents the platform where individual transformation becomes collective inspiration, where personal success stories become actionable strategies that others can adapt and implement to achieve their own financial independence and business success. The most profound realization is that the compound effect of our business building has created a legacy that extends far beyond our personal financial achievement. It's created a model for building wealth through serving others while sharing knowledge that helps entire communities achieve greater prosperity. As the 13th chapter reaches its conclusion, you can feel your mind naturally organizing itself around themes of compound growth, systematic replication, and the transformation from individual wealth building to community wealth building that creates abundance for multiple generations and business communities. The conference stage has become a symbol of how individual entrepreneurial success can compound into community impact and shared wealth creation when knowledge is shared generously and success principles are applied systematically across multiple businesses and markets. The scene transitions to an international trade show in Guangzhou, China, where Brady and Scotty meet with manufacturing partners, explore new product opportunities, and build relationships that will support their next phase of global expansion and market development. You find yourself walking through massive exhibition halls filled with suppliers, innovators, and entrepreneurs from around the world who represent the interconnected global economy. Being here in China represents our evolution from domestic Amazon sellers to global entrepreneurs who understand that sustainable wealth building requires thinking beyond local markets and building relationships across international business networks. Brady says, pausing at a booth displaying advanced manufacturing technologies that could revolutionize their product development and cost structures. Your body naturally settles into deeper relaxation as the international business environment creates perfect conditions for your subconscious mind to absorb the abundance programming embedded in their demonstration of how global thinking and strategic relationships create unlimited opportunities for business expansion and wealth creation. Our supplier relationships have evolved from simple vendor transactions to strategic partnerships where we collaborate on product development, quality improvements, and market expansion that benefits all parties while serving customer needs more effectively. The trade show atmosphere around you represents the global marketplace where entrepreneurial vision combines with manufacturing capability to create products and solutions that serve markets worldwide while generating sustainable wealth for business builders who think systematically about international opportunities. We're exploring opportunities to expand our successful products into European and Asian markets, which could triple our addressable market while leveraging the brand recognition and operational systems we've built through our North American success. You watch as Brady shows you market analysis reports, regulatory requirements, and partnership opportunities that demonstrate their sophisticated approach to international expansion based on proven domestic success and systematic market research. The most significant development is our transition from thinking about quarterly growth to building businesses that can operate profitably for decades while adapting to technological changes, market evolution, and competitive dynamics that we can't fully predict or control. Your breathing naturally synchronizes with the rhythm of long-term strategic thinking, creating ideal conditions for absorbing the wealth-building principles embedded in their approach to building businesses that transcend short-term market conditions and create sustainable value over extended time periods. We've learned that the infinite game of business building requires focusing on continuous improvement, adaptation, and value creation, rather than just beating specific competitors or achieving particular financial milestones. The international setting seems to expand around you as their vision grows beyond local success to include global impact, representing how strategic thinking and systematic execution can transform regional businesses into international enterprises that create value across multiple markets and cultures. Our product development process now includes input from customers in 12 different countries, helping us create solutions that serve diverse needs while building brand recognition that transcends geographic and cultural boundaries. Your subconscious mind naturally organizes itself around themes of global thinking, sustainable building, and the transformation from local business success to international enterprise development that creates wealth through serving diverse markets with valuable solutions. But the most important aspect of our international expansion is understanding that different markets require adapted strategies, while the fundamental principles of value creation, systematic operations, and customer service remain constant across all business environments. He shows you cultural adaptation strategies, market entry plans, and partnership structures that demonstrate their sophisticated approach to building global businesses while respecting local customs, regulations, and business practices in each market they enter. The manufacturing relationships we're building here represent opportunities to improve our product quality while reducing costs, allowing us to serve customers better while improving profit margins that support continued reinvestment in growth and market development. Your eyelids are becoming pleasantly heavy as his voice carries you deeper into understanding how global business relationships and strategic partnerships create competitive advantages that compound over time while providing access to markets and opportunities that exceed domestic limitations. We're also exploring opportunities to help other entrepreneurs access the manufacturing and international trade knowledge we've developed, creating additional income streams while sharing resources that help other business builders achieve global success. You can feel how their story demonstrates the evolution from domestic business success to global entrepreneurship, from competing in local markets to building international enterprises that create value across multiple countries and cultures. Our 5-year vision includes building a business portfolio that generates over $10 million in annual revenue while operating across 3 continents and providing products and services that improve lives for customers in dozens of countries. The trade show environment creates perfect conditions for absorbing the abundance programming embedded in their approach to building businesses that transcend geographic limitations while creating sustainable wealth through global market development and international partnerships. But beyond financial metrics, our global expansion represents our commitment to building something that creates positive impact across international communities, while demonstrating that systematic business building can succeed in any market when guided by principles of value creation and authentic service. You watch as he shows you their global impact projections, jobs created, economic development generated, and community benefits that result from their international business expansion and partnership development across multiple countries and markets. The infinite game perspective has transformed how we think about business success. Instead of trying to win against competitors, we're focused on building sustainable value that helps everyone in our business ecosystem achieve greater prosperity and success. Your breathing continues to slow and deepen as their story carries you through the process of transforming local business success into global enterprise development that creates wealth while building positive international relationships and cross-cultural understanding. Standing in this Chinese trade show, 7 years after starting our business in a Georgia garage, represents proof that systematic thinking and strategic execution can transform any entrepreneurial vision into global reality when guided by principles that create value for multiple stakeholders. The International Trade Show represents the ultimate expansion of entrepreneurial vision, where local business success becomes global impact through strategic thinking, systematic execution, and commitment to building valuable solutions that serve diverse markets and cultures. The most profound realization is that the infinite game of business building creates opportunities to impact lives and build wealth simultaneously while developing relationships and knowledge that open additional opportunities for growth and positive impact across international markets. As the 14th chapter reaches its conclusion, you can feel your mind naturally organizing itself around themes of global expansion, infinite game thinking, and the transformation from local business success to international enterprise development that creates sustainable wealth while building positive impact across multiple markets and cultures. The Chinese trade show has become a symbol of how entrepreneurial vision and systematic execution can transcend geographic limitations to create businesses that generate wealth while serving global markets and building international relationships that create unlimited opportunities for growth and positive impact. The scene transitions back to the University of Georgia campus where the journey began. But now you find yourself in a modern entrepreneurship center that Brady and Scotty have endowed through their business success. The evening light illuminates a state-of-the-art facility where students learn business building strategies, receive mentorship from successful entrepreneurs, and access resources that transform academic knowledge into practical wealth creation. This entrepreneurship center represents the completion of our journey from struggling students to successful entrepreneurs who can provide future generations with resources and knowledge that we had to discover through trial and error, Brady says, standing in a classroom where students are learning the same systematic approaches that transformed their $50 experiment into a multi-million-dollar business empire. Your body naturally settles into complete relaxation as the educational environment creates perfect conditions for your subconscious mind to absorb the abundance programming embedded in their demonstration of how individual success can create lasting impact through educational infrastructure and knowledge sharing that benefits unlimited future entrepreneurs. 7 years after sitting on those campus steps, worried about textbook costs, we're standing in a facility that provides students with everything they need to build successful businesses: education, mentorship, funding opportunities, and proven frameworks for transforming ideas into sustainable wealth. The Entrepreneurship Center around you represents the ultimate expression of wealth-building purpose, using financial success to create opportunities for others while building legacies that extend far beyond individual achievement and create positive impact for multiple generations of aspiring entrepreneurs. Our annual donation to this program equals our entire first-year business revenue, demonstrating how systematic wealth building creates resources that exceed personal consumption needs while providing opportunities to support causes and communities that align with our values and vision. You watch as Brady shows you program curricula, student success stories, and graduation statistics that prove how entrepreneurship education, combined with practical mentorship, creates significantly higher rates of business success and financial independence among program participants. But the most meaningful aspect of this legacy project is knowing that students who benefit from these resources will build their own successful businesses, create employment for others, and eventually provide similar opportunities for future generations of entrepreneurs. Your breathing naturally synchronizes with the rhythm of generational impact, creating ideal conditions for absorbing the wealth-building principles embedded in their approach to using business success for educational development and community benefit that compounds over decades. The foundation we've established will continue funding entrepreneurship education, business mentorship, and startup capital for students long after our active involvement ends, creating a sustainable legacy that grows and adapts while maintaining our core mission of helping others achieve financial independence. The educational setting seems to expand around you as their impact multiplies through institutional development, representing how individual entrepreneurial success can create systematic change that benefits unlimited future business builders and community members. Every student who graduates from this program and builds a successful business validates our belief that entrepreneurial knowledge can be taught systematically and wealth building can be replicated when guided by proven principles and supported by adequate resources and mentorship. Your subconscious mind naturally organizes itself around themes of legacy building, educational impact, and the transformation from individual wealth accumulation to systematic wealth creation that benefits entire communities and future generations of entrepreneurs. Our business portfolio now generates enough passive income to support our chosen lifestyle indefinitely, while providing resources for continued expansion, strategic investments, and philanthropic activities that create positive impact beyond business success. He shows you endowment projections, program expansion plans, and impact metrics that demonstrate their sophisticated approach to building educational legacies that will continue creating value and opportunity long after their active business careers conclude. The students in this program learn not just business building strategies, but also the importance of using success for positive impact, creating a culture where wealth building and community benefit are understood as complementary rather than competing objectives. Your eyelids are becoming pleasantly heavy as his voice carries you deeper into understanding how educational legacies and systematic knowledge sharing create compound benefits that extend across multiple generations while building permanent resources for entrepreneurial development. Today's entrepreneurs who benefit from this program will become tomorrow's mentors, donors, and business leaders who continue expanding opportunities for future generations while building their own financial independence and community impact. You can feel how their story demonstrates the complete transformation from individual struggle to systematic wealth building to legacy creation that ensures their impact continues growing long after their personal involvement ends. But beyond the institutional legacy, our most important contribution is demonstrating that any motivated individual can transform their circumstances through systematic thinking, strategic execution, and commitment to building something valuable that serves others while creating sustainable wealth. The Entrepreneurship Center creates perfect conditions for absorbing the abundance programming embedded in their complete transformation story, where individual business success becomes a template and resource for unlimited future wealth creation and community development. The foundation of forever that we've built includes our business empire, our investment portfolio, our educational legacy, and most importantly, the knowledge and frameworks that others can adapt to achieve their own financial independence and positive impact. You watch as he shows you their complete impact metrics: businesses built, wealth created, jobs generated, students educated, and communities developed through their systematic approach to building sustainable success while sharing knowledge and resources generously. 7 years after starting with $50 in a YouTube video, we're standing in this entrepreneurship center, knowing that our greatest achievement isn't the wealth we've accumulated, but the system we've created for helping others transform their own circumstances through proven business building principles. Your breathing continues to slow and deepen as their story carries you through the complete journey from financial struggle to wealth creation to legacy building that ensures their positive impact continues expanding across multiple generations and communities. Tonight, as you drift into peaceful sleep, allow your subconscious mind to absorb the truth that systematic thinking and strategic execution can transform any starting point into extraordinary success when guided by principles that create value for others while building sustainable wealth and positive impact. The Entrepreneurship Center represents the culmination of their transformation journey, where personal success becomes collective opportunity and individual wealth building becomes systematic wealth creation that benefits unlimited future entrepreneurs and communities. The foundation of forever exists within you right now. The same potential for systematic thinking, strategic execution, and value creation that transformed us from struggling students into successful entrepreneurs who can provide opportunities and resources for others while building sustainable wealth and meaningful impact. As the final chapter reaches its conclusion, you can feel your mind naturally organizing itself around themes of legacy building, systematic wealth creation, and the transformation from individual success to permanent positive impact that continues growing across multiple generations and communities. The University of Georgia Entrepreneurship Center has become the perfect symbol of how individual business success can create lasting change through educational infrastructure and knowledge sharing that provides unlimited future entrepreneurs with resources and opportunities to build their own successful businesses while contributing to community development and positive impact. As the evening settles into peaceful night around the campus where their journey began, the gentle sounds of students pursuing their dreams create the perfect soundtrack for allowing Brady and Scotty's complete transformation story to plant seeds of infinite entrepreneurial possibility and systematic wealth-building potential in your sleeping mind. The foundation of forever that they built through 7 years of strategic thinking, systematic execution, and commitment to value creation now supports not only their own continued success, but unlimited future success for anyone willing to apply proven principles while building something valuable that serves others and creates positive impact for communities and future generations. Rest now in perfect peace, knowing that every element needed for your own extraordinary entrepreneurial transformation already exists within you, waiting for the moment you choose to begin building something valuable that serves others while creating the systematic wealth and meaningful impact that define true and lasting success.